our culture has changed mainly because we've really moved to this use and throw sort of a mindset. But the challenges, of course, are much bigger. If you just look at the amount of plastics that's flowing into our houses, it's no joke. That our mountains, are ecologically fragile, and unless there are changes that happen at that macro level, we will still be struggling. We can still do a little bit of banning here and there, but the larger challenges will always remain. The vision is of a zero waste Himalaya. It's right there in the name. It's different organizations under the same banner, but even as individual organizations, we have been, sort of moving forward this agenda of zero waste. Besides that, I think one of the things that we've really invested in is how do you then expand this circle, beyond a couple of organizations who are talking about zero waste. So we've been working with quite a few young volunteers and peer educators, and so really working with them on zero waste principles and concepts. So they would then go out and then talk to their peers in their colleges or in their schools and really expand this thing about what zero waste actually means, and how do you look internally at your own lifestyles to really reduce your waste footprint, and how do you demand then of your waste managers or of your government, like for better policies and better systems to be in place. So this peer educator program is something that we've been continuing for the past 4 years or so, and we've worked with a wide range of people and taken them through like really zero waste concepts and principles. But because of COVID, we had to then again shift to an online mode, and that was when we were really able to expand beyond Sikkim and Darjeeling and really look at the mountain states as a whole. After that, we've also supported small initiatives on how they can take zero waste forward in their own circles. So it could be a small project around composting, it could be a small project around raising awareness through schools, and some guys are trying to look at how they actualize segregation at source, in their own localities. So small projects that we've been supporting, which again, add to the larger whole. We've also worked with religious institutions, and we've had one set of training which has led to again a number of small initiatives where they've looked at their own monasteries on how they can have plastic free celebrations, because there's a lot of plastic offerings that come now into the monastery, again because it's convenient for people. But a few of these monasteries have really looked at how they can ask their devotees not to bring any plastic offerings to the monastery and go zero waste. If you are serious about plastic pollution, then you have to show by example, lead by example, and you have to show the way. At the Guru Lakhang monastery in Gangtok, they are celebrating a plastic free celebration of their annual puja. The monks themselves are saying that because they did a plastic free puja, their dustbins are empty. They are themselves surprised how impactful this whole idea is, So it gives us a lot of hope. It was in 2018, when the World Environment Day theme was beat plastic pollution. We sort of realized that, our moment has come. And then that year, the celebration, the global celebration was in India. So that really gave us a good opportunity to think of how do we now, use this opportunity that has come our way to sort of, bring out and really take it to the next level. So that was when we partnered with the Integrated Mountain Initiative, which is another platform that works across the mountain states. So we partnered with IMI to think of what is now called as the Himalayan Cleanup. We sort of conceived of this idea of the Himalayan Cleanup as part of the World Environment Day celebration, where on a single day, every individual or every organization across the mountain states could do a cleanup, on a single day. And it would not just be a cleanup, but we would also do like a waste audit to understand what is in the waste, like how much of single-use plastics, how much of PET bottles, how much of Tetra Pak, how much of multi-layered plastics we have. So we do a waste audit of the waste that we pick up, and then we also do a brand audit, to really understand then which are the companies that are polluting our mountains, who is it then that is ultimately responsible for putting all those plastic into our drains, into our rivers, into our streams, So we also did a brand audit along with the Himalayan Cleanup. The waste audit turned out to be such a useful tool for people who are engaged in the cleanup. One, to look at how they themselves have been contributing to the waste that they are now having to clean up. So at a very individual level also, people could connect with this idea of conducting the waste audit. So this was, I think, one of the biggest projects that we ran, as and it was in partnership with many organizations. There were more than 250 organizations who took part, more than 15,000 volunteers, we were able to mobilize on a single day to clean up the mountains. So that was, I think, one of the biggest projects that we've undertaken. And a lot of the plastic again was food packaging. It's not just the health of the planet that we are talking about, it's also health of every individual who's then consuming these products. So over time, this clear linkage that is there between food, the way we eat, and then plastic waste that we are generating. This clear linkage is something that we try and keep talking about a lot. And so whenever we have awareness programs, we tackle it not only from the point of view of the plastic waste that is generated and that is polluting the environment, but also what is it that then we are putting into our own bodies, So this linkage between food and waste is also something which is very critical, and we need to talk more about it. We can do things which are within our control. So we can look internally at our own lifestyles and see what changes can we bring about, So very simple things that we can take as our journey, towards zero waste. So some simple things, of course, already everybody knows, like carrying your own water bottle and your bag, etc. That's been much talked about. But beyond that, there are so many other things that we can easily contribute to. So just looking at our own waste footprint and seeing how can we lower that. So whatever we are contributing to the landfill is reduced, or that there is no waste in the end that is created. So at an individual level also, this zero waste concept actually works very beautifully.